Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining in. Welcome to the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. First things first, please do me a favor, help me grow my channel. The more I grow this channel, the better off I'll be able to, the more often I'll be able to do this stuff for you guys, to create the content, to get information out, to get my opinion for you guys. If it's valued, etc. I hope you do. Another thing, everything, don't necessarily have to do the notifications, but please subscribe. At the minimum, subscribe. That would be amazing if y'all could do that. YouTube has thresholds for certain levels of different pieces of the puzzle that would help the channel grow quicker, etc., etc. So yes, please like, subscribe, share the video, etc., like that. You sir are a gem. Thanks, Divvy Daddy. Appreciate you always. You are amazing. Yeah, I also have at 4:30 every day, approximately. It's not always accurate, but at 4:30, I try to hit it on the dot. I have a Patreon show. That is Unfiltered Papa Joe. That is me being able to talk and communicate in the general spaces that we have current events going on. I've done stuff from history and banking. I've done some biblical stuff, scriptural stuff from my opinion, from a biblical worldview. I've done different things around Magic Potion that we've all been talking about recently and stuff like that. So if you want to see those kinds of things and hear those kinds of things, I've set it to $5 a month. Unfortunately, it's just that way so that I can keep the trolls out. I wish I didn't have to do that. I wish I could just speak openly to you guys out here. But that is what it is right now. Our First Amendment is under attack. So it gives me the ability to have that unfiltered, uncut version of Papa Joe. So if you want to see those things, join the Patreon. Like I said, it's $5. It's not much, but it's the lowest I could make it. So let's jump right in today. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. Just a constant attack on crypto, attack on really the markets in general. I was having a discussion with some guys here at work about inflation this morning. And I just gave them a synopsis of some of the things that we've covered the past couple of days around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and how there is a liquidity crisis. And I know that several of the miners, the major miners in the country, really in the world, they're not really selling their crypto anymore. They're kind of starting to hold on to it. And what that's going to do, it is causing the over-the-counters not to be able to have the liquidity they need. It's causing the exchanges the same thing. People like me, I'm not selling my crypto. And most of you, I'm pretty sure, aren't going to do the same. You're not going to sell it either. And this is causing a liquidity crisis, causing the prices to increase significantly. But here's the catch. Remember back in 2017 when China banned crypto? Remember what happened? The crypto plummeted right about now, same timing. Thing is that history repeats itself. It's important to know the true history of the world, really, and more importantly, of the world, really, so that you can know where we're going. You don't know where you've been, you're not going to know where you're going, and you'll probably go back to the same places. So pull this up here. Oh, that's actually yep. So sound familiar? Yeah. Back in 2017, China banned Bitcoin. The recent news that you've seen with China giving a slam down or we're not doing this, or here it is. China declares all cryptocurrency transactions illegal. Bitcoin price falls. Okay. Bitcoin price isn't necessarily falling because of this, and it's only going to go so far. And this is why. Because this happened last time, Bitcoin's supply has cut in half. Okay. It's more scarce now. People like myself, like most of you, aren't going to release your Bitcoin to be sold at any of these prices because you know that the value of it is greater than what we are currently seeing its value in dollars are. You're going to maybe lend it out, take a loan on it, things like that. You're never going to let it go for sell. Okay. So what that means is you're creating a liquidity crunch. The supply is decreasing, the demand is staying the same, and the slam down you're seeing is because of Evergrande. It's not because, where is it? Let me put it over here. No, that's the wrong one. Andrew left. He was a short seller that was banned from trading in Hong Kong because he wrote an editorial or some kind of paper or something like that because of his criticism of the Evergrande project and whatever Evergrande is doing with their land ownership and control. This, in my opinion, is why all of the markets are having a problem right now, why they're all being dipped down. Add on top of that inflation, add on top of that the zero interest rates, or next to zero interest rates, add on top of that the economy as it's in and of itself is being propped up by printing from the centralized banks. The thing is that China's crackdown, it's never changed. This isn't new information. My goodness. Oh man, I left my coffee upstairs. Oh well. This is not new. China has been after Bitcoin because it undermines the sovereign currencies of China. Here's the thing: is that the China government agencies and country securities regulators for the People's Bank of China. This is the bank that's saying that they're calling crypto-related transactions or businesses, whatever, is illegal. They've been saying this for a long time. It's not new news. Evergrande, though, wrong one. Evergrande is new news. Okay, you got the old news, you got the new news. The thing is that you gotta realize that this is all tied to. I pulled this up because I wanted to show you guys this stuff. All right, you see the sources? These are mainstream medias. Look at what they're saying. It doesn't say that. All they're trying to point out is, that the votes, where they're getting that information from is there's a section in the earlier released or the draft or whatever it was that was released talking about that all the votes cast were in fact all the votes cast. It doesn't talk about the fraudulent, doesn't talk about the ghost, it doesn't talk about anything. It just says that the number matches up with the number that was cast. That's what they're saying. That's what they're going off of. They haven't seen any of the information. And today at 4:00, that is going to be released. So, it's going to be released in the Senate, which is interesting too. So here's the thing. This information is this is why they're dumping the market. They're trying to get you distracted from this kind of information here. All of this information, they're trying to distract you from this. They're trying to distract you from this. Keep your own focus on what's happening here. Okay? I'm being very careful with what I'm saying, but keep focus on what's happening here. This is why it's important. This is why you're seeing the markets crash. This is why you're seeing the reiteration of the current already information around what China's talking about, blah, 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 blah. You got to understand, people. They're trying to control the narrative. The plane's crashing. They're trying to make sure it lands. The thing is, though, it's not gliding down. It's quite literally falling out of the sky, and they don't realize that. But we do. That's why I'm doing the shows. That's why I'm trying to say, hey, guys, pay attention. Wake up. We have an opportunity right now to set up ourselves and our families, as shrewd as it may be. It's also wise. Okay? Take the wisdom I'm saying here. Not that I'm a wise person. Look at it as that, because you have an opportunity now, and I'm showing you, you have an opportunity now to set up generational wealth for you and your family. Like, generational means multiple generations will not have to worry from a financial standpoint. Okay? That's something that hasn't happened in a long time for anyone in the world because of the banking systems. I talk about this more on my Patreon show because I have to be very careful with what I say out here. I went over some of the stuff with banking yesterday, and I kind of been holding in on that recently, because when it falls, it falls. When a banking system falls, and people realize the information that's coming out, and people realize what's going to happen, is people will unite, and they will unite against the banks, because they're the underlying root to most of the problems. Actually, I would even go as far as to say all of the problems. But I'll talk about that more on the Patreon. So it's a little tease for later. So join it. It's $5 a month. Not much. The more that's in there, the more I can do this kind of stuff full time. What was the other one? Chinese regulators. Yeah, the People's Bank of China. They're the ones that it's a bank. It's not even the regulator. Well, I guess they are tied to the regulator. Everything's different over there. And then you got this idiot here. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. He calls himself an economist. I don't know what his background is. Quite frankly, I don't care. But this shows me that this person, and anyone really who comes out and says stuff like this, is that he has a pure lack of understanding of what blockchain technology is and cryptocurrency does for the world. Pure, straight up, no idea what they're talking about. Okay? And he even says, I will admit I don't understand the need for cryptocurrencies at all. Wow. Then you don't understand what's happening from the banking systems. You don't understand what blockchain technology is and how it provides freedom for humanity. Blockchain is an amazing technology. It allows you to have an entire ecosystem that is everywhere and yet nowhere, which is decentralized and distributed. It's not just decentralized. Decentralization is a normal thing. You can have relational databases. What that means is you have a database, let's say on the East Coast, you have one in Central America, and you have one on the West Coast. They all talk to each other. That's a relational database. One change here, it changes here, and it changes there. Okay? You have to understand. Blockchain, they're all interconnected like a web. They all can be popping off, having different transactions take place, and they will all come to consensus together at the same time. That's how it works. The cool part is the difference between a distributed or a relational database is you could drop that off. You could drop one offline and the two might survive, but you drop two offline, that one will not work. You could drop all the nodes offline and still run one Bitcoin node, and it will continue to process the transactions. The cool part is that you can turn all those other nodes back on, and they'll pick up where they left off. Same thing. You throw your node in the ocean, get another one, let it sync up with the network, and it'll continue where it left off. That's something that we've never really had before from a technological advancement. The other cool part about blockchain is its immutability. When I say When I say immutability, that means that whenever a miner or a proof of stake transaction gets processed, that block gets found, the reward goes to the person, the miner or the entity who found it. That miner entity then pulls from the transaction pool, puts as many transactions as it can in that block, it closes it up, and then it writes to the blockchain for a permanent record forever that it is true to what it said it was. There is no way to delete that transaction from being written to the blockchain. From a transactional point of view, let's say in a supply chain there's a mistake. You can write again to the blockchain, nullifying that previous block, and then saying to use this net new data in this new block, but that old block will always be there. The mistake will be present, but it won't be actionable, but the track record and the record of it will always be there. They're fully auditable, fully transparent if you want them to be. You can make them to where they are you can make them where they're private, where no one can see the information inside of them, things like that. Sorry, someone's asking me a question here. So that's a little technical, but that from a technical perspective, if you take a 50,000 foot view at something like that, a system like that, think about how a system like that could create freedom for humanity. Think about tracking your medical information on a system like that you have complete control over that no one else does. Think about having a supply chain on a system like that where you have that fully auditable trail of what's happening there. It creates honesty. It creates a trustless system. You don't got to trust the person telling you that the data is there. It's there. You can both see it. If you think about what's another good one? Obviously, banking. Hey, cryptocurrency, stock markets, things like that. The transactions are forever. They are immutable. You cannot delete them. You cannot erase them. They are there permanently. As long as the ledger, the underlying chain is visible to the public, then anyone can audit that and anyone can see it. That's a pretty profound setup. Think about the legal system and the judicial system. Think about how a blockchain, you could build the Constitution into the blockchain and have smart contracts automatically execute based off of what the legislature wants to put into law against us, things like that. And if it doesn't match up or doesn't jive well with the Constitution contract, then it can't be law. Stuff like that is places and things that we could go do with blockchain. There are many, many, many more. I have a lot of ideas. I need to talk to you, Davy Daddy, by the way. I'll pull this back. Wrong one. That's a good question. Are the prices falling or is the dollar just hard to value? I think it's probably both. Well, it's probably just the dollar is hard to value because of how much they've been printing. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, I have ideas around some stuff that would be very helpful to help people around the magic potion discussion. That the mandated requirements, crap like that. Think I have a way to figure out how to help protect people, and it involves blockchain technology. It involves other stuff too. So I won't put that out in the public because I want to talk to some people like Dibby Daddy, and I've got some other people I want to talk to run the idea around because I was talking to my wife last night about it. I was like, we need to figure out how to fix this for people. And then it dawned on me on how to go do it. I figured out how to go do it. I just need to figure out, I need to find the right people to connect the dots to make that happen. So it's going to be interesting. The future of crypto is interesting. The future of blockchain technology is interesting. And I pushed the wrong button there. There was one other thing I was going to show you guys, and I forgot what it was. Oh, yep. Here, hang on. Put this back up. There we go. The Dow Jones reverses its Evergrande misses interest payment. So this was at 10 a.m. this morning. Now, I had other people tell me that they did make their interest rates, and I'm like, I'm seeing they're not. Here's one article. I saw a few, actually, where Evergrande actually missed their interest payment. So they said yesterday that they were going to be able to pay it all. They were going to be able to pay back or start making payments on the loans and bonds and things like that, in their outstanding loans. I think it's like almost 400 billion or something like that. And it looks like this morning everything's dropping because they missed one of the key interest payments. And yes, they're calling that Bitcoin's tumbling and all that stuff. Bitcoin is tumbling because there are traditional traders in Bitcoin now, and they're doing what traditional traders do. Whenever there's a foul breeze that all of a sudden comes across their noses, I don't know what, all of a sudden they drop the market. They pull out. They pull back into cash in an attempt to grab more whenever that they find the bottom. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are traders. That's what they do. The thing is, though, that when things really go south, all markets will fail, but Bitcoin will only go so far. I don't know what the bottom will be. It includes crypto. All right. It will all drop. But when people realize that Bitcoin stops dropping and everything else keeps dropping, Bitcoin's going to stop dropping. Crypto's going to stop dropping because, again, it goes back to people like me. There's a lot of me out there now. We're not selling our crypto, so there's nothing there. If there's nothing left to sell, then the price will stop at a specific point. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's far from where we're at now. The rest of the market will continue to tank, and people will start to realize, oh crap, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are really a place to put our finances. They are really there for us to be able to protect our currency as a store of value, as a way to have a way out of this mess. Okay? And I think that we're going to see that take place. I don't think we're far from it. I don't think we're far from it at all. Hang on a second. I was going to show you guys one other thing here. I meant to pull it up beforehand, and I am so sorry that I did not. Stand by. Where is my... There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There we go. I thought this is interesting, an interesting point of view from a U.S. senator. China's authoritarian crackdown on crypto, including Bitcoin, is a big opportunity for the U.S. No kidding. It's also a reminder of how huge our structural advantage over China is. Plan B, if you guys don't follow him or her or them, you probably should. The fact that a U.S. senator is pulling this out and calling this out and paying attention to this, you guys need to realize, please pay attention. Cryptocurrency is not something that we need to just brush under the rug like this other so-called economist, where was it? Idiot here, saying that it's pure folly to make it legal tender. I got news for you, buddy. That's going to happen here. It's going to happen around the world, and there's nothing you can do about it because the people, humanity, we will not tolerate a control system that we have right now with crypto, with the current banking system. We will not tolerate that. I'm already not tolerating that. I have people I know who are full-time crypto. I know who they are. I know I have friends that are doing that. I could easily do that myself right now. It's a goal of mine to be able to do that. Well, I have a timing thing for me. Timing is everything for me. That's why my wife was after me for years. Friends and family were after me for years for starting a YouTube channel. Didn't do it until now. Timing is everything. There's a reason for it. Didn't start my business in crypto for years because it wasn't time. I started now and it's time. And it's the Lord's been blessing that, you know. I prayed and asked for wisdom and asked for God to show me what he wanted me to do and never felt peace about things until now. Now I have it. Now we're doing it. Now we're running. So all in all, there's a lot of FUD or fear, uncertainty, and doubt out there. You need to realize it's all noise and it's all designed to keep you distracted from, in my opinion, if I can pull it up correctly, from this kind of stuff today. The real raw information will be released today at 4 p.m. All they're trying to do is front run this. Keep your focus on this on what's happening here when the real information hits. you have to remember, a lot of people don't know this, fraud vitiates all. And when the fraud is to people in this country are going to unite in ways that we never have. They already are. But there will be another drop of information that will truly unite all of humanity against the true enemies of humanity. And that's coming. I don't know when. I don't know how. But I know what it is. And I know that it's coming. Just prepare your hearts. Be in prayer. Make sure that you have... make sure that your heart is ready to receive that information and to be able to understand it. Pray for wisdom to understand it. Pray for wisdom not to not to be overwhelmed by it. But realize, here's the problem. There is a solution. And that we're going to do the right things. Humanity will do the right things. I know we will. I trust God on that more than anything. More than anyone. So, with that, please subscribe to the channel. Help me grow the channel. The more subscribers I have, the faster the channel grows, right? Like it and share it out with your friends and family. Also, if you want to see the uncut, unfiltered version of Papa Joe, I have a Patreon. I set it to $5 a month. It's really the minimum, unless they change it. That was the minimum when I set it up that I could put it on there. It's so that I can have an area I can speak freely without having any concern of anything being shut down here. Those of you who are in there, it means a lot to me. Thank you. But that is where I can speak freely and not have a concern about what of anything being shut down or taken offline or anything stupid like that. So, thanks again. And as well, I may not be able to do it at 4:30 this afternoon. It depends. I may be paying attention to this stuff. And if it runs over 4:30, I may do in the show immediately following that. I don't know yet. We'll see. I may do coverage of it at 4:30. It depends. Depends on what is available for me to do so and what I feel comfortable putting out there for it. So right now I'm planning on doing a show at 4:30, but if I don't, that would be why, just so you guys know. Anyways, you guys have a blessed afternoon, and we will talk to you soon.